And now, Forecast First from KOLR 10 News. Certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Another warm one out there. High cloudiness stuff streaming into our skies, especially this afternoon. They've thickened up, looking rather cloudy out there as the sun was setting about an hour or so ago. Right now, looking at filtered starshine. The moon will be up here shortly. Temperatures currently in the low 60s. Overnight tonight looks quiet. Filtered moonshine, temperatures dropping to the 50s into the upper 40s. And you know what, folks? We're going to be warm again tomorrow. And it looks like it's going to be a lot sunnier tomorrow afternoon. This warm pattern is going to continue right through this upcoming weekend. But this time of the year when it gets warm and when it ends, you have to watch out for a chance for storms. We'll talk about those storm chances with a front on Tuesday of next week. And your forecast coming up. KOLR 10 News at 6 starts now.
Now, from Ozarks First. You're watching KOLR 10 News at 6.
The mother of a Springfield man killed by the DEA is sharing memories of her son tonight. This is KOLR 10 News at 6. I'm Heather Lewis. David has the night off. 25-year-old Caleb Slay was shot by agents on Monday after what the DEA is calling a physical altercation. Our Jesse Inman is here with us tonight. He has more on the case and what Slay's mother is saying about it.
Yeah, this happened in the 1800 block of South Maryland near Sunshine. And according to a press release sent to us by the DEA, agents approached an individual who they believed committed a violation, one that the Springfield police confirmed to me today was related to drugs. Now, the DEA says they were engaged in conversation when Slay walked up and made the approach. They say that a physical altercation ensued, resulting in agents shooting and killing him. And today, we met with Tina Slay Richardson, Caleb's mother. She spoke about the memory of her son and says that she is still searching for answers regarding her son's death. She explained her frustration with the way her family was treated at the scene that night and upset that the information was released so quickly to the public. Now she wants answers on why her son had to be shot, and she's making calls for change.
This has got to stop. I didn't want to join this club. I'm in this club now. And I am a staunch investigator of my own. I don't let anything go. And with my last breath on this earth, I will get justice for my son. And I feel like we weren't treated with enough respect. And it's wrong.
The DEA also says a firearm was recovered at the scene there. The Springfield police are now left to investigate the entire incident. They were not able to confirm to me today whether or not the firearm was in possession of Slay at the time of the shooting. Tonight at 10, you'll hear more about the memory of Tina's son and the family's plan going forward. Heather?
All right, Jesse, thank you. Someone from out of state has claimed that they threw away absentee ballots in Greene County, and now the Greene County clerk has released a statement about it. Shane Scholler says earlier today the person claimed they illegally threw away those ballots during the 5-day processing time. The statement reads in part, though we have not been able to validate the claim, we are taking it seriously and have begun conducting an internal investigation. It goes on to say residents of Greene County can be confident that we are taking their right to vote very seriously and that we will always strive to ensure that their ballots are received, handled, and tabulated with bipartisan professionalism. Scholler's full statement can be read on ozarksfirst.com. Right now, Joe Biden is closing in on the 270 needed electoral votes to secure the presidency. He sits at 264. President Trump has 214, according to the Associated Press. But legal challenges are looming. KOLR 10's Bailey Stroll talked to a political expert and learned it could be a while before we see definitive results in this.
Yeah, Heather, there is no law, though, that says we have to have a decision today or even by the end of the week. But today we spoke with a political expert at Missouri State University about the different scenarios that could happen in the presidential race. And the main question being, is this an unprecedented election, or have we seen something like this before?
It is out of the norm given past elections, but COVID has taken us outside of the norm in so many ways. And so the fact that ballots are still being counted, there's nothing problematic. It's just it's outside the norm.
Dr. Kevin Pybus with Missouri State University says this unknown space we're in now is very similar to the Bush versus Gore election in 2000. Results were unknown for weeks, margins were tight, and both candidates filed litigation. He says that's the most likely scenario this year, as the Trump campaign has already filed lawsuits to halt the vote count in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. But instead of the hanging Chad debate in 2000, any disputes in this election will center around mail-in ballots and transparency.
It's hard to know what's just rumor right now and what is real, but you're already seeing allegations of misconduct among people counting the votes and about on the signature issue, whether they're matching the signature on record, whether they can be counted if they arrive late, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Lastly, what if either candidate refuses to concede? Pybus says in the next few days or weeks, it's in both candidates' best interest to stay in this race.
I guess at some point it might become unreasonable not to concede, but as long as the litigation is still alive, then that's probably the prudent thing to do. Ideally, one of them would have claimed a decisive victory yesterday. I think that would have been just better emotionally for the nation, but 2020 is not dealing those kind of cards.
No, it is not. And while the no law requires results anytime soon, the law does state that we have to have final certified results by the time the Electoral College members cast their votes officially on December 14th.
All right, we will continue to keep an eye on it. Bailey, thank you. The race to represent Missouri District 135 is still very close. Right now, incumbent Steve Helms is trailing Democratic candidate Betsy Fogel by only 34 votes. Ballots are still being counted here in Greene County, so the race isn't over yet. But Greene County Clerk Shane Scholler says this race will likely require a recount.
For any military or overseas voter, we have until noon on Friday to continue to receive those ballots. And so as we continue forward until noon on Friday, that will give us a good idea. Is this going to remain a recount, or is it going to be at some point extended beyond the recount margin, which is less than 1/2%?
Scholler did clarify that margin is less than or equal to 0.5%. Cullerton's Madison Haber is meeting with both Helms and Fogel today to get their reactions on this very tight race. You will hear from those candidates tonight on Cullerton News at 10. Some good news tonight now. We could all certainly use it. Hundreds of Greene County voters waited longer in line to help an elderly veteran with bad health conditions vote. Our David Chasnoff joins us live from Sequoia Elementary School, where this happened yesterday. David, how far back was the man in line?
Well, Heather, it's actually where I'm standing right now, if you can see. It's, of course, very dark, but he was right next to the Sequoia Elementary School sign and a telephone pole to my left, probably to your right, back at home. Now, Ron Bowles and another man in line named Randy decided their vote could wait.
I made a announcement to everybody. I said, friends and neighbors, we have a veteran here that's on oxygen and is barely able to walk, and I'm wondering if it's okay with every one of you if we can put him in front of the line. The entire line just broke out in a resounding yes and cheer.
Bridget O'Connell took this picture. She says this made her proud to see, and she took the picture to show her kids that kindness matters. O'Connell tells her kids that there's always time to be kind, and this is a perfect example of that. Bowles says as he was coming back with the man, everybody that he passed by thanked the man for his service. The man was very appreciative and thanked everyone.
It was just one of those moments that it just makes you kind of proud to see. To take the time to do that was really heartwarming.
This is Springfield. This is the Ozarks. This is what we're all about. It isn't Democrat. It isn't Republican. This is us. We're neighbors. We're friends. This is how it should be across the country.
And Ron says he wasn't able to catch the man's name, but he says he was really happy he was able to get involved and help him out. Now, he does tell me the true heroes in this story are the hundreds of people who were in this line yesterday, helping the man get by and thanking him for his service. Reporting here in Springfield, David Chasnoff, Ozarks First.
All right, David, thank you. Back to sunshine again for tomorrow, but our quiet stretch of weather is coming to an end soon. Jamie maps out when we could see storms next.
And now weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Looking at a quiet night across the area. Temperatures cooling back out of the 70s and through the 60s. Currently sitting at 62 degrees. Let's talk about the highs today. Another warm one. We've gotten real used to it, haven't we? 76 this afternoon in Springfield. Temperatures in the mid-70s, very common, but you can see we had a couple of upper 70s. Harrison coming in at 78, 78 in Lake Ozark as those afternoon highs continue to outperform what the models suggest we should be seeing. That's okay, right? We like the warm weather. Certainly getting better after the cold and wet conditions of last week. And you can see we've gotten into a nice routine here, and that's going to continue the remainder of the week and into this upcoming weekend. Coast-to-coast warmth. Warmer than normal highs. The core of the unusually warm conditions, though, is actually centered to our northwest across the upper Midwest. But all of the nation looking at warmer than normal highs, with the exception of areas down along the Gulf Coast. And this pattern won't change. You know, the only thing that we're really looking at today that's a difference over yesterday is the high cloudiness. We started off very bright, but high clouds did sweep into the area, thickened up by this afternoon, and that gave us filtered sunshine. And once the clouds arrived, temperatures pulled back a little bit, and that's what makes sometimes forecasting how high it's going to get outside a little tricky, because that cloud cover can play a big role in how warm or cold your day might otherwise be. Looking at the forecast for tonight, I think we're going to hold on to that high cloudiness tonight. We should see it moving out tomorrow morning, right around or shortly after sunrise. That means we're back to sunny conditions again for the afternoon. And again, it will be warm. And then tomorrow night, it looks like we're in for a clear night. It is going to be one of those nights, though, that will favor some patchy fog formation. And I think that fog will really be centered in those river bottoms and down near our area lakes. That fog should give way pretty quickly to sunny skies, but we'll probably take that moisture and then bubble up some cloud cover as we get into the afternoon, at least along and north of I-44. Temperatures tonight, chilliest here, I think, in places like West Plains and Alton, where we should dip into the mid-40s. Looks like upper 40s here in Springfield. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon, once again, should be in that 74 to 77 degree range. Just kind of looking at things as they stand. I mean, the atmosphere looks just about as warm tomorrow afternoon as it was today and yesterday, so temperatures should be very similar. Tomorrow night's lows dipping into the upper 40s to low 50s, and then again on Friday, we're looking at the same thing, 74 to 77 for afternoon highs across the area. And that warmth continues through Saturday into Sunday and Monday. The beginnings of a change in the pattern, though, will start to take shape Friday into Saturday, and then by Monday, this is going to be the setup in the atmosphere. We have this trough in the west, ridge in the east, and when you get a pattern like this, you watch for storms to start coming out of the southwest, and we're going to find one of those moving into the middle of the country by Tuesday. The timing of that storm and the amount of instability in play are still questionable, and that's why we can't say, hey, yeah, we're probably going to have severe weather on Tuesday. As it stands, it still looks like there may be enough ingredients in play for it to at least be a possibility and something to kind of keep on our radar. Not saying we will have severe storms or even strong storms, but that possibility is certainly there given a storm coming out during the day on Tuesday. Until then, it looks like it's going to be warm and quiet. Should see more cloud cover, I think, Sunday and Monday, especially in the morning. I think we start off with mainly cloudy skies in the morning, and then that gives way to partly sunny conditions Sunday afternoon, Monday afternoon, but it's still going to be really warm. In fact, upper 70s look to be a pretty good bet Monday afternoon. In the wake of that storm Tuesday, we're back to colder conditions. So with that said, I would urge everybody, if you've got some time in there over the next 4 or 5 days, get out and enjoy the warmth.
Exactly. I mean, just enjoy it while it's here, because, you know, when it's February and 38 degrees outside, we'll be wishing for it. Yep. All right. Well, you know, it does feel warm outside, but tonight, the holiday season officially kicks off in Branson. The city is celebrating the event by lighting the United We Stand Christmas tree on the strip next to the Branson Ferris wheel. Color 10's Jacob Blunt is joining us live. Jacob, what can you tell us about the city's new tree?
Well, Heather, the recently lit 39 20-foot Christmas tree is more than just a sign of the season. It also comes with an important message to stand together, even in the most divisive times, which is really important, especially today. And as we start kicking off the holiday season, it could mean the beginning of winter weather. And the city of Branson has been busy preparing for it.
So today is really all about the drivers and giving them the opportunity to go out on the routes and look for any hazards or obstacles that they might encounter while the road conditions are favorable rather than when it's snowing.
Benjamin Stabo is the operations manager for Branson's Public Works. His team spent the day training and preparing for severe winter weather. Stabo says when winter storms hit, the city's 13 snowplows will head to their designated routes, covering 250 miles of roadway. But he says most of their work comes before the storm even arrives.
We've gotten really into pre-treating using salt brine mixtures and beet juice, as well as calcium and chloride mixtures. And that just gives us the ability to get out ahead of the weather and get a layer down so that snow and ice doesn't stick to the roadways.
And as Branson Public Works is preparing to get rid of ice on the roads, Rich Yackey of Holidays on Ice is busy creating an ice skating rink for the holidays.
We have a big chiller. It's not here yet. It'll be here tomorrow. We bring the temperature down of our matting down to 0 degrees, spray water on it, make ice.
Yackey has been creating ice skating rinks since 2014. He says he originally planned to build this ice rink in Washington.
COVID shut the contract down. We gave up on the season. Then I Google searched, other Christmas towns, and these guys called me back up, and I flew out here. I said, yeah, this is really cool. So I mean, this is magical little village. So.
And Rich was right. You could really feel the magic tonight as the tree was lit. We had carolers, we had the crowd here, and now even a light show on the Ferris wheel. And if you'd like to see more about how Rich and his team are building an ice skating rink right here, we're going to have that extra content for you on our website at ozarksfirst.com. Reporting live from Branson, this is Jacob Blunt, Ozarks First.
Coming up next in sports, building a winning streak.
We're trying to get perfection from these guys, and so it can be exhausting at times because you're never going to reach it.
Dan Lucy has more on Evangel football and NFL news next.
And now sports with Dan Lucy.
The Evangel Crusaders will return home to Tiger Stadium in Ozark on Saturday, and the Crusaders will be looking to build a winning streak against Central Methodist. Last week, Evangel made a late run to beat Missouri Valley 47-33. That improved the Crusaders to 2-4 on the campaign. Evangel quarterback Dylan Decker threw 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes to lead the Crusaders to victory. Decker and receiver Josh Denny were named Heart of America Players of the Week. Denny returned a kickoff 90 yards for a touchdown. Evangel coach Chuck Heppel wants to carry that momentum into the Central Methodist game.
There's really 2 ways you could look at it. One, you can look at the win and you can just be satisfied. Or number 2, you can look at the win and be inspired by that and try to figure out ways to get better. And so, I challenged our guys to be, inspired by that win. And that being said, we're trying to get perfection from these guys. And so it can be exhausting at times because you're never going to reach it. But it's that ultimate goal that you're trying to do. And really proud of our kids.
The Kansas City Chiefs remain at home Sunday and will be looking for their 4th straight win when they host the Carolina Panthers. The Chiefs are 7-1 in first place in the AFC West. Carolina 3-5. Last week, the Chiefs' defense held New York in check, holding the Jets to 221 yards of total offense and 3 field goals. One Chiefs defender who had a big game was rookie Tershawn Wharton. The rookie from Missouri S&T in Rolla had 4 tackles and a sack against the Jets. He says being from a Division II school hasn't been a problem at all in the NFL.
Going out there competing every day, getting my habits down of what I'm going to do each and every day and learning how to become a pro. So coming from S&T, I played in a 3-4, but we kind of played it in a different way. So where I'm playing at is kind of almost similar to what I did in college. It's just now I'm playing on a guard and I'm not worried about the edge. So I think it let me use my size and strength in there to get under the bigger guys.
The Detroit Lions put quarterback Matthew Stafford on the COVID-19 list because of contact with a non-player who has the virus. He could return Sunday to play against the Vikings if he tests negative the rest of this week. Meanwhile, San Francisco wide receiver Kendrick Byrne tested positive for COVID-19, and he has been isolated from the team. And the NFL says that tomorrow night's game against the Packers is still on. Green Bay will be without 3 of their running backs who are in COVID quarantine. The Missouri State is not releasing its non-conference basketball schedule just yet, but bits and pieces are being found on other sites. On the men's side, Central Arkansas says that they will play the Bears at JQH Arena on December 1st. We did know that the Missouri State Lady Bears are playing in the Gulf Coast Showcase at the end of the month. Well, Florida Gulf Coast released the bracket today, and the Lady Bears will open on November 27th against the Eagles. The Lady Bears are coming off a 26-4 regular season record and a Missouri Valley Conference championship. Now, after opening against the host school, Coach Mox's Lady Bears will play Maryland on November 28th at 4:30 our time, and then the Lady Bears will wrap things up on the 29th against Wake Forest at 1:30 in the afternoon. And congrats to 2 Cardinals and a Kansas City Royal who won Gold Glove awards yesterday. St. Louis Cardinals Colton Wong and Tyler O'Neill picked up Gold Gloves. It's Colton Wong's second, the first for O'Neill. And Kansas City's Alex Gordon picked up his 8th Gold Glove. Gordon retired at the end of this past season. That's sports. The news will be right back.
Well, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us here for Color 10 News at 6. For the latest election results and all the news of the day, head to ozarksfirst.com, or you can download the Color 10 News app for alerts sent straight to your phone. Good night.